Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. Today's a record review. Short and sweet. I say that every time, don't I? Well, we'll see how short and how sweet this one ends up being. The record is by a Japanese musician, Yosi Horikawa, and it is his debut LP, Vapor. This came out like 10 years ago now. I became aware of it probably 5 years ago, but I didn't end up grabbing a copy of this until only a few months ago, and it's been in heavy rotation since then. Yosi he composes, he makes music using a lot of found natural sounds, but he doesn't end up making music that is as ethereal and ultra minimalist and ambient as some other musicians who do that kind of same thing. He uses the sounds to construct these really sort of up-tempo, mid-tempo, up-tempo rhythmic electronica music. So it can kind of sneak in and fool you. They are really beautiful soundscapes. He's using a lot of, like I said, natural sounds. There's a lot of references to water dripping, things like that. But then he'll also and again, it's a beautiful soundscape. If you've got your hi-fi really well set up, or if you've got a really good headphone system and you throw this music on, you're getting a lot more of what these compositions are about than you do if you're just listening casually from a Bluetooth speaker somewhere like that. You can really kind of dig deep into these tracks. The soundscapes are enormous, and he's painting very, very specifically with soundstage and imaging locations with the sounds, and they move around not in a sort of a gimmicky way, but in a very sort of concrete three-dimensional way. And I'm not sure how he's achieving this in a superior way to a lot of other records. Maybe he's more obsessive with it. I read somewhere that he had studied architecture and sound design, things like that. So that could have something to do with it. And his use of found sound is really fascinating. So there's a track on here that starts out with what is clearly a cassette deck. So you can hear the rewinding, you can hear the buttons being pressed, you can hear the rewinding, you hear the music kind of play, and he starts out with the music that's supposed to be coming from that cassette. Starts out with it being very small, compressed, kind of lo-fi in the soundscape, and then that gradually expands out as he sort of fast forwards and rewinds and finds where he wants to play it. He hits play, and then that soundscape gradually fills out to become completely encompassing and become an integral part of that track. It's kind of, it's almost like, putting an eyedropper of dye into a swimming pool. You hear it as it sort of swirls and kind of grows out and then sort of fills everything and dissipates out. Really beautiful stuff. There's another track on here that's called Letter, appropriately enough, that uses the sound of a pencil and paper, like literally someone writing with a pencil on paper, and it truly does sound like it. I mean, I know he's manipulating these sounds and probably breaking them down and chopping them up, but it truly does sound like an enormous pencil being written on a surface in front of you, and you can hear as it's writing from one side to the other between the speakers. It's really just beautiful, really trippy and awesome. You can even sort of tell that he's writing in Japanese because of the number of times where the pencil's coming up, and there's a percussive nature to it. Just that's kind of what I mean. It's like these layers and layers and layers of information and artistic intent in this record. Clearly it is intentional because it is really beautifully done, and it's consistent all the way through the album. Very cool stuff. Anyway, highly recommended. Thank you for watching, and Roxy and I will see you at the next video. Can you see Roxy? Is she on the screen?